Yo, what's good, family? Welcome back to the garage for another one with the 340 GT. Today we're taking a little break from the maintenance and getting back to some fun stuff. We got a new part that came in that I'm super excited for. If you have a modern BMW and it's not an F34, you probably won't be excited because most likely you already have this option on the aftermarket. And if you're in that small group of BMW enthusiasts that actually have an F34, you're gonna be just as excited as I am. I've personally been waiting over a year for these to hit the market for the F34 GTs, and they finally have. So let's get into it and show you what I'm talking about. Yes, we finally have GTS style tail lights for the F34s. So it looks like the pre-LCI harnesses are already plugged in. Since I have a 2018, I'm not gonna need those, so we'll unplug those later. Peel back a little bit so we can see. These are looking pretty nice so far. Let's go ahead and get this out the way, see if we can get the old tail lights out. All right, so first things first, let's get this battery disconnected. All right, start on the right side first. We're gonna go ahead and get the outer tail light out. On the pre-LCI models, I believe you have a door right here you can flip open and get to these bolts. But on the LCI models, as far as I know, we have this rubbery plastic seal piece. You're just gonna wanna pull up on this. There's two pegs down here that line up in these two holes. And this is really pliable. You can bend this up. You're not gonna hurt anything. And that'll give you access to these two 10 mils. I'll put my gloves on and get some traction. You wanna get your hand behind here, kind of put your hand here. You wanna give a good pull. And that'll show your connection. It looks like on this one, it's actually pinned down by a plastic rivet. You're gonna push down on this little tab and pull out and it'll release the connection. Pop out that plastic rivet that's holding the wire with the trim piece. And she's out. All right, so here's the new one. Again, it looks like this is the pre-LCI harness. So we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this so we don't need it. And that connection should be able to connect directly right there. Press that in. There's even a little hole right there to put that wire back. Peel some of this plastic back here. We'll go line up this little ball guy with the grommet. Line up your holes for your 10 mils. Give it a good push. What the heck, I'll go ahead and tighten them back up. It should work fine, right? Nice and snug. Tighten down the plastic so you don't want to go too crazy. Remember these two pegs, you just want to lift up and put it back into place. Give that a good push down. And the outer light is installed. Let's go ahead and do the inner light. All right, to get this inner light out, on the inside of the hatch, there's this piece. Note this pointing this way. All you want to do, slide it out away from the car. You can see those tabs just slide back in like that. It's just held in by that black bracket under the wires there and that 8mm screw. So go ahead and take that out. Now that we got that bracket off, before we take this inner tail light out, you definitely want to disconnect the connection. It doesn't have as much travel room as the outer tail light, so definitely don't forget to disconnect this before you remove the tail light. And there's that connection right there, no clips. You just got to pull on it. And now to get the inner tail light out, be mindful of this plastic piece that kind of hooks onto the body panel here. What you want to do is put your hand on the outside of the tail light so it doesn't pop out and fall on the floor. And you're going to want to push out on the tail light. I found that this 8mm is a good place to push on. Someone please drop in the comments, tell me how I have bugs inside my old taillights. Good thing to note, this is also where you would change your bulbs. And again, we're gonna wanna disconnect the pre-LCI harness. Looks like we got a heat sink for the LEDs. Let's go and get this guy in. Gotta make sure the hook's on this side. Give it a push. And then we can reinstall the 8mm bracket. Then plug in your connection here. And if you look closely, there is some 3M adhesive on the side of this heatsink. So you can place this inside. This is actually not that sticky. I'm gonna go ahead and do some of my own. All right, we'll go ahead and put this cover back on. Then we'll go ahead and reconnect the battery and see what it looks like compared to the OEM. Let's go ahead and close it. Put my daytime runners on. Oh man. I'm gonna take some of this plastic off. Now let's see. Yo, these joints look so tough. Definitely look better in person. Camera's drowning out just a little bit, but they're definitely darker than OEM. It's a little sunny out, but you can still see the difference. I went with the red GTS tails, and they're still a little bit darker than OEM, which I'm not mad at. Just put it on auto. Go ahead and lock it. Unlock it. Oh, sick. Let's go ahead and knock this one out and see what they both look like. All right, so we got them both in. Lights on automatic. Let's go ahead and unlock. Lock. Let's go ahead and turn the hazards on. Super nice. I think we need to come back for some nighttime shots. Now these tail lights were easy to install. The fitment and functionality was great. Unfortunately, there was a flaw inside my left housing that sat right over top of the LED strip, and it bothered me. I showed the seller photos of the flaw and requested an exchange, but he ignored the flaw and didn't want to work with me, and AliExpress customer service chat was a nightmare to work with. So I ended up returning them, and I had to come out of pocket $100 shipping back to China to get them back to the seller. I might buy them again down the road, hopefully from another seller. But until then, I'll be rocking the OEM LCI tail lights, which also look awesome. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, be blessed, and catch me in the next one.